Yeah, come on. It's like that. It's like that.
Welcome to Super Swimmer, your African window on the world of aquatics. In this edition, we visit a Swim SA training camp in Stellenbosch. And national diving, we look at the 3-meter prelims from the recent RSA Cup from Boksburg, Gauteng. The picturesque winelands in the greater Stellenbosch area. South Africa are still in level 3 of the COVID restrictions, and it's not only the tourism and wine industry that has taken a knock. Aquatics, like most sport, has been severely affected. But leave it to Swimming South Africa and some creative management to come up with solutions for our swimmers. Adhering strictly to COVID compliance, invited swimmers gather at the Kutzenberg pool on the University of Stellenbosch campus. The teams have been here for almost a week at this training camp with a difference. Masks and sanitization before and after training, as well as between races. With this being the Olympic year, the Federation was not taking any chances. The weather was superb in the Western Cape, but this was a serious training camp with plenty at stake. In early January, many of these swimmers attended the year's first training camp in Nelspruit in Mpumalanga. What is needed, however, is competition. These athletes need to race, and race in a 50-meter Olympic-sized pool. Race times have been collated in order to gauge progress.
Yeah, first training camp with most of the national swimmers during this COVID period, and it's been really great. We spent a week here down in Stellenbosch. We got through some good work during the week, and then we did some swims on the weekend here now, some really fast times being produced.
Okay, we were very happy with this training camp and the assessments that we did, the timing of the swimmers. We came down, our goal this year, we've got 6 swimmers, they're world-class swimmers, they've qualified, they've done the A time to represent South Africa at the Olympics. What we want to do is we want to give more opportunities to our swimmers in South Africa to qualify for the Olympics. So for the past 6 months, we've looked at where those opportunities would come from, and the one place was relays. And obviously, it's taken us maybe 16 years, but our girls are now dominating swimming in South Africa.
Our girls, indeed. It started long before Tatiana Schoenmaker took gold at the Gold Coast Commonwealth Games in 2018. The talent has been just below the surface. Perhaps all that was required was opportunity and careful guidance and coaching.
But all in all, a great performance, some really good swims from the youngsters coming through, and some really competitive racing amongst the kids, and really good competitive training amongst the kids.
The SA National Aquatic Championships, and also the official qualifier for Tokyo 2021, is just more than 1 month away. There is plenty of work to be done. It is an exciting time for these young competitors. Opportunity awaits, but so too a lot of sweat and perseverance. This is the lineup for the 4x200 meter freestyle relay. 4 RSA teams are competing for the best time here. RSA C team has Veronique Rousseau starting in lane 3. With the early lead, it is 17-year-old Amy Kenny for RSA A team in lane 4. Kenny turns after 50 meters. Rousseau follows. Christian Mandel is in lane 5 swimming for RSA B. Amy Kenny at the 100-meter mark. Mandel follows, and then in lane 6 it is 17-year-old Trinity Hurd. She's starting for RSA D team. The final turn for Amy Kenny. Veronique Rousseau chases the field for RSA Team C from lane 3. RSA A team will try their utmost to record a top time here. 18-year-old Danae Kutsia dives in for the second leg of the 4x200 meter freestyle relay. She goes out fast. Inga Vaderman is in lane 5 for the RSA B team. Emily Fasahi is in lane 3 for RSA C. The SA record stands at 8 minutes 8.12 set in Glasgow at the 2014 Commonwealth Games. Danae Kutsia is doing her bit to get her team to better that time. The need to have a ranking amongst the top 16 nations' best recorded times. Our team has till the end of May to improve or retain their time. Our girls can do it. Vitamin is next best in lane 5. The Australian women hold the world record in a time of 7 minutes 41.50. The Olympic record, though, is behind the names of the American team, 7 minutes 42.92. The red swimsuit of Hannah Robertson is in the water for the RSA A team. This is the crucial third leg. The women's A team has increased their lead considerably. Inga Vaderman has handed over to Kiara Barnes for the B team. Carly Antonopoulos is in the water now for the C team. This is Robertson after her first 100 meters. Victoria Earl is now in lane 6 for the RSA D team. The final turn for 16-year-old Hannah Robertson. Rebecca Meade is waiting to dive in for the final leg. The coaches are very excited about their time at this stage of the race. A strong start from Meade at the outset. As this is a time trial and not an official competition, there's no electronic timing, only hand timing. But can it count? Can these women record the desired time to be one of the top 16 teams in the world? Rebecca Meade loves this stroke and this distance. She is flying as she makes her way to the finish. The coaches and fellow swimmers get behind her. She can do it for the team. Powerful strokes and Meade finishes 8 minutes 04.71. Wow, that is quick. I have it as a new SA record, better than the 2014 win from the SA Commonwealth team. But is it official? And will it be recognized? The RSA A team have left the other teams in their wake. Jessica Whelan clocks in for RSA B. They finish second. Then Georgia Nell for Team C. And Caitlin DeLange for RSA Team D. The A team win is the 14th quickest time in the world at the time of this broadcast.
I think the highlight was the women's 4x200 freestyle. We got into the rankings, which is enough hopefully to make it to Tokyo. And the 4x100 medley and the 4x100 freestyle relay for women are less than 1 second outside of getting into the rankings to qualify. So we're very happy with the swimmers, especially the relay swimmers, and we're looking forward to the SA Championships, where we're hoping that we can get these teams to get their berths to go to Tokyo. So I think it's been a great week, a great performance on all the swimmers, and especially we feel really proud of the people on the relays, the girls who have stood up and they're right on the qualifying time for Tokyo Olympics.
So I train in the long course pool back in Durban, so it's my favorite type of training and favorite type of racing too. I think my highlight would obviously be qualifying for the Olympic Games in that 4x200 freestyle relay with my teammates right next to me. I said to them, we're so used to racing against each other, and now we can race for each other. So it was just so incredible to see that all four of us are juniors, and we managed to qualify the first girls relay team into the Olympic Games. So that would probably be my highlight this weekend.
Yeah, it's been our target to try and get the relays qualified, and we pushed hard for them. As I said earlier, we got the 4x2 women's relay qualified, which was great. We just missed on the 4x1 medley relay for the women. and I'm sure we're going to have another chance, and we just missed again on the 4x1 free relay. So the women's relays are looking really promising, and who knows, maybe we can qualify all 3 relays before the closing date.
We're holding thumbs that the women's 4x200 meter relay race we witness is ratified and stays within the top 16 rankings. The ladies feel that they can improve on that time, which is even better. The qualifying times for the medley and the freestyle relays for women can be achieved before the end of May 2021. They are so close. Our coaches have taken note. Changes may take place with training or techniques, or just letting the swimmers peak at the right time. The next few months are going to be interesting and exciting.
Yeah, come on. It's like that. It's like that.
This is the St. Dominic's Catholic School in Boksburg on the eastern side of Johannesburg, Gauteng. The Dominican Sisters of Newcastle took possession of the buildings in 1925. In 1965, a hall and a new wing was added. This prestigious venue were the hosts for the recent RSA Diving Cup, drawing South Africa's top divers to the great facilities. The event took place over several days, but when the camera team visited, we were met with strong northwest winds affecting the divers more than our filming. It is very tricky negotiating balance and technique 3 meters up on a narrow board when the wind is gusting. However, the officials and divers persevered. In this edition, we are featuring some highlights from the men and women preliminary rounds of the RSA Cup. We start with Stephen Adams from the De Jong Diving Club. He will do forward 2.5 somersaults from the 3-meter board. No less than 7 judges placed at different angles to the diver adjudicate the dive and award a score between 0 and 10, with 10 being the perfect score. Stefan Steenkamp, also from De Jong Diving Facility in Pretoria, will do a forward 2.5 somersault with a twist. The degree of difficulty is 3.0. The top 2 scores and the bottom 2 scores are discarded. The remaining 3 scores are added together and multiplied by the dive's difficulty rating, known as the degree of difficulty. Many factors are taken into account and a score is determined. The judges consider 4 main criteria: the approach and starting position, the takeoff from the platform or springboard, the flight through the air, and the entry into the water. Both male swimmers will contest the finals. We introduce the young women now, and on the board is Tana Proudfoot from Jester's Diving Club. She'll do a forward 2.5 somersaults in the tuck position. The degree of difficulty here is 2.4. Bailey Hadra is an 18-year-old diver from the Rippers Diving Club. She is doing an inward 2.5 somersault tuck. The degree of difficulty is 2.7. Every diver does 5 dives. The scores are then tabulated for the highest total.
7.5.
Here we see the intensity of the wind. On the board, Isabella Quaker from the Kingfisher Aquatics Club. She is doing a back 1.5 somersault with half a twist. Here, balance is crucial. A very neat dive. Let's hear from the judges.
5, 5.5, 6.5, 5.5, 5.5, 7, 5.5.
The next dive has a 2.2 degree of difficulty. She'll do a forward 2.5 somersault. The pressure is on from early in the prelim rounds. From the 14 entries, only 8 divers will go through to the quarterfinals. Each diver has their own setting preference. This is Mandy Jacobs from De Jong Diving in Tshwane. She is doing an inward 1.5 somersault. 2.1 is the degree of difficulty.
Five, 6, 8, 5.5, 5, 6, 6.
Next up, Kerry Lee Morrison from the Rippers Diving Club. She is 18 years old. Her dive is back 1.5 somersault with a 1.5 twist. The wind seems to have picked up.
Six and a half, 6, 6.5, 5, 6, 6, 6.
Zalika Matula from Crusaders Diving Club is 3 meters up. Her dive is an inward 2.5 somersault in the tuck position. Neat execution from the young 15-year-old prospect.
6, 6, 6.
It really is heartwarming to see more and more divers of colour on the national platform. Another team member from Crusaders Diving Club. This is Bailey Davenport, 18 years of age. Her dive is an inward 2.5 somersault. .7 was her degree of difficulty. She should be pleased with the execution of this dive.
5.5, 5.
Grace Branner is from Rippers Diving Club. She's 17 years old. She'll do an inward 2.5 somersault. During this time of COVID restrictions, no spectators are allowed, but coaches and fellow competitors do applaud a good dive. 2.7 is the degree of difficulty for this dive. Davina Barberini is from Kingfisher Aquatics Club. Her back 1.5 somersault dive with half a twist has a 2.0 degree of difficulty. Slightly overcooked, but overall a very satisfactory dive.
5, 6, 5, 5, 5.5, 5.5. From Rippers Diving Club.
Our next diver is Zuluntu Kadebe. She is representing Ripper's Aquatic Club and is 15 years of age. She'll do an inward 1.5 somersault. The wind came up strong during her dive, so a very good effort.
4.5, 6, 5.5, 5.
Georgie Dillon is from De Jong Diving in Brooklyn, Pretoria. She'll do a 2.5 somersault dive with a 2.4 degree of difficulty.
Awards, 5.5, 6, 7, 6. 5.5, 7, 6.
Caitlin Irvine Smith is another Crusader Diving Club member. 2.4 is the degree of difficulty of this dive, a forward 2.5 somersault.
Five and a half, 6, 7, 6, 5, 6, 6.
Sid Peyton Levine was born in 2005 and is from the Rippers Diving Club. She is doing a forward 2.5 somersault in the tuck position. It's not Sid's best dive. The approach and dive is good, but her legs straighten a bit late, affecting her entry.
3.5.
The degree of difficulty is 2.2. After 5 rounds, here are the results of the top 4 placings. A clear lead for Bailey Hadra. Grace Brammer, very consistent, with Tanner Proudfoot and Kerry Lee Morrison in 3rd and 4th respectively. Let's look at another dive from our prelim leader. The women will now contest the quarterfinals and then a bit later, the finals. We'll feature the finals in future programs.